Hello, everybody. Sorry for the few minutes delay. I was trying to calm myself and get everything right in my world before I brought you into it. I think I only owe that to you. So, we're going to have a very interesting topic that I think can help everybody tonight. Hello, Kennedy, and welcome to the room. Hello, Eden. Who else do I see? I don't know right now. Hello, Jenny? Hello? Hello, JC Bear? Bear hugs to you? I don't know if I see anybody else. Hello, Vintage Optimism. Welcome as always. But before we get started, let me do my welcome. And here we go. If I can see it. If I can see it, I can be it. No, I'm not in private chat. Here we go. Yes, tonight we're going to talk about healing and pain, and we're going to talk about the process and the importance of pain as well. I feel like people want to avoid pain at all cost. I know that in the past I have wanted to avoid pain. All of us do. Nobody wants to feel pain, right? I mean, it's the last thing in the world we probably want to deal with. It's not fun. But if you really think about it, if everything was joyful all the time and we never had to experience pain, would we really want to do anything? Push ourselves, challenge ourselves? I mean, honestly, I don't think so. I think we might be a little apt to get lazy. And I feel like anything we might accomplish wouldn't be as sweet. It might just feel like another day. I think it would feel that way to me. Hey, Paranormal Witch Pixie, welcome to Dear Dana. And as a reminder to people coming on, I am creating this channel to educate and help others, but it's also a community that I'm building, so it's all of our channel, and people can be heard and can voice their thoughts and opinions without being attacked or pounced upon. We have the freedom to speak in here. I am not going to tolerate cruelty or people being harmed with words. That's just the way it's going to be. We should feel free to express ourselves in here. That's how healing really takes place. When people begin to attack, that's a mental health problem, actually, in my opinion. I mean, if you're attacking because someone's physically harming someone you love, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Are there emotionally, spiritually, verbally harming someone you love, taking a pound of flesh? That's a whole nother ball of wax. But we can also handle that in a clever way. That doesn't mean stepping to their level, in my opinion. We can handle it. See, I am trying to adjust to hurt and pain. I'm focusing on my kids first. That's a good thing to do, but we're also going to discuss tonight how to navigate through it and why it's necessary to have that pain. But before we do so, I'm going to talk a little bit before I start bringing people up, because the pain is not fun. The emotional pain is not fun. 100% it's not fun. But neurologically speaking, I'm going to lay some medical science down on you. When some tests have been done of the brain. When someone is in emotional pain, it fires off the same synapses in the brain that registers physical pain. And they found in some instances that aspirin could take care of emotional pain, and we're not talking about all emotional pain, mind you, but it could take care of some emotional pain the same way it takes care of physical pain, because it's being triggered in the same area of the brain. That is why, oftentimes, if you are experiencing physical pain, it may be because you are stuffing back some emotional junk that you have not dealt with. And that is the truth. A lot of times people will try to be stoic. And you'll hear people say, man, they're so strong. You never see them cry. You see them keep on going and dealing with stuff. They've been through this and that, this breakup, and they've lost this person and or lost that job or blah, blah, blah. They're tough. You just see them deal with it. But here's the thing. When you're dealing with emotional pain, you can either persist, whatever you resist, persist. Meaning, if you resist dealing with that emotional pain, it's going to persist in your body somewhere. It may come out as coronary artery disease. It may come out as cardiac problems. It may come out as fibromyalgia. It may come out as migraines. It may come out as a myriad of other things that you don't even put two and two together with, because you have resisted dealing with it and compartmentalized within your system somewhere. It can be something way far back in your life. Not to beat a dead horse, and it's really not a dead horse because it just happened, but for example, look at Harry, Prince Harry. Yeah, I'm going to call him Prince. I feel like he has been greatly triggered with his Meghan and his son Archie and the baby to come by the death of his mom and the whole media stuff with Meghan. And somewhere in him as a child, and let's just say devil's advocate, let's just say when they were young boys and they lost their mom, that they didn't get therapy to deal with the grief and the loss of their mom. And because they were kids, let's just say, devil's advocate, that the firm assumed they were kids and they were resilient and they would just keep them busy and they would just roll with it, that the kids would soon learn how to cope. Let's just say that as an example. And fast forward years. Maybe Harry compartmentalized all of that. Maybe. So now he's married and has a baby, and all of the media is all over his wife, and similar things may be happening, and all of a sudden, whoosh, trigger. And all of this comes to the forefront. Stuff that he boxed up and compartmentalized unconsciously, not knowing, as a little boy, because he didn't get the help he needed. And all of that angst and fear and grief and emotional stuff is just right there in his face, as though it happened yesterday. Let's just say, can you imagine if it's feeling to him in his body, if those emotions are coming up that he never coped with as a little boy. Yes, he's an adult, but his loss was his child self. That's how it works. If you did not cope with a lot of trauma and you compartmentalized it, it's going to come out on its own one way or another. Some people, if they were in a household that was severely abusive, whether they were the target or not, maybe they just watched it, it's going to come out in a few ways. Either they're going to be emotionally submissive and fearful of making their own decisions and go out in the world somewhat damaged, and maybe they're going to attract a partner that history will repeat itself. That maybe that partner on some level may be abusive in some way. And they're not going to know it unconsciously. They're just going to draw that kind of partner. Because within themselves, they are needing to have the opportunity to work out the experience they had growing up, and somehow fix it, or rectify it, or heal it in some form. Going back to whatever you resist persists. So if you don't learn how to move through it and navigate somehow, it is going to creep out in the cracks of your life. Let's say that you were in a relationship and there was constant emotional back and forth chaos. That there was a lot of, oh, I love you, and passion, and all of that kind of thing. And then 2 weeks later, it was a lot of tension, and I can't stand you, and are you cheating, and that kind of stuff, and emotional abuse. And the relationship ends unresolved. Odds are the next partner you attract, you're going to be in the same boat. Why, you say? Because you have unresolved things that you've been packing away in your psyche. Unresolved pain from somewhere, albeit a relationship in a romantic way, or relationships from your family of origin. Now, after saying all of that, that gives you food for thought. But we have pain ingrained in us, so we know if a limb is broken. We know if a fire is hot. We know not to do certain things that are going to cause us danger, of course. But it also helps us to know that we need socialization and love and a mom or someone to nurture and raise us. We need the touch. We need the inspiration. And when the pain comes, whether we want it to or not, with pain comes growth. Pain forces us to go inside of ourselves. If in that relationship and the pain comes, all we're doing is blaming the other person and we're fault finding and we never look in the mirror, we don't grow. We stay stuck. And not as many new opportunities come to us. Does that make sense? But if we use that painful time as an opportunity to, like, here, for instance, when I got divorced, I knew, even though I was going to be by myself with my son and he had medical problems, and I knew there was one level of me that was scared to death to be alone with my son, not knowing what was to come. And there was part of me knowing that I desperately needed to get out of this marriage. I should have gotten out of the marriage years prior. It was the smart thing to do. He had become abusive. I was smarter than that, but he was dark. He'd gotten very dark to the point of evil, to where somebody's eyes turn black almost. And you don't know if they're going to kill you. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. And I was trying to navigate how to get out of that situation safely. And I ultimately did. But I also knew I was going to be on my own, knowing me against the world, with a very rare child that I adored more than breath itself, just as I adore my daughter more than breath itself. That being said, I knew I needed out of that relationship. But even though you know that it's the best possible thing for you, you feel the pain of it. Because sometimes you stay for a little while longer than you should because it's comfortable being with the devil you know. Because there's the devil you don't know outside of that world. And you don't know what's coming. And that is stinking thinking too. But I got out of it. I got out of it not knowing what was to come. I mean, on some level, I was intuitive and I had a sense and I had a knowingness that things were going to be so much better. And I knew I was strong. But even though I knew it was the best thing for me, you still grieve it. You still feel the pain. It's still like a death in some way. You still look at yourself and say, why did I stay so long? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? How do I need to change? And then on some level, there was this extreme freedom because I was busting out of the box and discovering aspects of myself that I had stuffed away, that I needed to grow and change and move beyond the space I was in. I had to move through the pain and look at the pain and feel the pain. And sometimes it is beautiful pain. And I know that doesn't make sense to you. Sometimes the pain is beautiful. And I don't mean self-inflicted pain. Like, that's ridiculous. The pain within. Because as you feel the depths of that pain, it is going away. And you are growing. But if you stuff it back, it grows within you like cancer. And it goes nowhere. It solidifies, and you do not grow. Now, there are two in the psychological field, and these aren't necessarily psychological words. There are two forms of pain. There's clean pain. Clean pain is like you broke your leg, or you fell down, or you cut yourself, or someone actually passed away, and you're having to navigate grief. That's clean pain. And then there's dirty pain. That is self-inflicted pain. Like beating yourself up over things continually. If I could have done this, or if that happened, or they're evil, or why did they do this to me? Or always victimizing yourself, or you are the victim of what they've done, or You're making yourself a victim of why you're not good enough because of. That's dirty pain. And you can roll around in it for years and years and years and years and years if you're not willing to move through it. And what I'm asking you to do is, if you're holding on to that kind of pain, be willing to look at it and move through it. Yes, your life is busy. Maybe you're at school. Maybe you have a job. Maybe you're raising children. I'm not saying look at it constantly throughout your day. But I'm saying allot time, and if you need to go cry and scream in your pillow, take an hour and go cry and scream in your pillow. And get it out. And write it down. And then walk away from it. And do what you have to do. And make an appointment with yourself. And do it again the next day. And the next day. And eventually you'll find out that it diminishes over time. And it doesn't persist. It begins to waste away. And you begin to grow out of the ground, out of the ashes. Paranormal Witch Pixie says, well, my divorce still hits me every day, and I do cry, but I have to take care of my sons. Yes, you do, but eventually, your divorce is not going to hit you every day like that. I promise you, eventually, you will feel indifferent. You won't feel one way or the other. And then you will know you've healed. It hits you every day because he was the one that walked away and you are taking care of the babies. If you had walked away, it would not hit you in the same way. But at some point, you have to get it out of your system and cry it out and take care like you do so you can grow. Because you also know the universe has done you a favor. And that the depths of you know this. So I want people to really look at the benefits. And I'm not saying, yeah, go out there and let somebody break your heart. But you have to stay open. You have to stay open. Let your heart stay open. Let the light be in you. Let it grow. Realize it's not going to feel that way forever. And you're going to get hurt again. You're going to feel pain again. But pain is there for a reason. We are all going to go through it. We've all been through it. I still go through it about Noah. Sometimes all it takes is for me to see a new photo of him. And I'll have tears. But I'm also beginning to remember the good things again. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I can still feel my son. And I know without a doubt this is not the end. But I also know I have a daughter. And I can't remain stagnant. And I want to be an example and make my son and daughter proud. And there are more things I need to do. And I want to help others. And I want to grow. And I don't want to be a persistent reminder of pain. Ultimately, we have to make a choice to have happy moments. It is a choice. You either choose to ball up and stay in the pain and angst, or you choose to move through it so you can find glimpses of the light and happy and joy and laughter. You have to choose. You have to choose whether you're going to let pain crawl unconsciously into little boxes that you can't see in your body and cause you harm. Why? Are you going to let that be the end product of that pain, like a snapshot in your body? Is that what you want? Why? Do you feel like you deserve that? So that's what I would call dirty pain, and it's self-inflicted. Is that the example that you want to leave to your children, to your family, to your friends? Do you want them to watch that? And when you leave this earth, is that how you want to be remembered? Shine some light, people. Choose differently. Maybe you don't think you've had this power all along, but you do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like Little Mary Sunshine. I have sucky days sometimes, but I only allow myself to be in them temporarily. I keep on moving. And when I say I keep on moving, it doesn't mean I don't look within or have a check in with myself. Look at what's going on. Because I don't want to unconsciously vomit my pain on somebody. Does that make sense? If I'm not checking in, I'm going to be a protagonist, or let me say, a Slurpee machine, for lack of better, and I'm going to spill over onto someone else essence of that pain. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want them to feel warmth from me. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I want them to feel that I'm holding space for them when they're in pain, when they need somebody to listen. You know what holding space is? Sometimes when we have a friend that's hurting or in pain, or they're telling us this is how they're feeling, that they're feeling this pain, there's something in us automatically wants to fix it. I've been guilty. But I have to remind myself, sometimes people just want us to hold space for them. They just want us to say, I got you. I'm here for you. I hear you. I got you. That is how we let people navigate their pain. And that is how we help others know that it's okay to heal and navigate pain into the healing process. Instead of saying, it's going to be okay. Don't cry. Here, let me make you laugh. I don't want you to feel that way. Don't do that. Hold space for them and say, I got you. I am here for you. And I want to say to all of you here in my community, I'm just a baby crawling on Dear Dana. And my intention here is genuinely to lay my heart out, to educate, but to help all of you the best I can, and to let you know I'm grateful that you're here. I love you, and I want you to know that I got you. Do you understand? I have got you. And that being said, I'm going to open up soon so we can chat some of this out and discuss it some more. But before I do, a couple of people actually wrote me with questions. So I'm going to read them before I open up. And we can discuss them openly on here. Or, maybe I can start with the first question, drop the link and we can discuss the second one as well. So, the first question is, Dear Dana, how do I learn to care for myself emotionally after I've gone through a breakup? Well, dear P, after you've gone through a breakup, I know it's very hard. Your heart's broken. It's probably hard to get up in the morning. But I'm sure you have responsibilities and you have probably an impulse to want to call them and do all of this stuff. I would say, first of all, if you have a bestie, call them. Let them listen to you. Secondly, go get your favorite ice cream. Play your favorite movie that will make you cry your heart out. Watch it with your bestie. Eat your ice cream. Take a good hot bath and soak in it with some Epsom salt, some music, some candles. Get your journal out and write your feelings down. Another good thing you can do is play some of your music in your room, whether it's, music that makes you feel emotional and can get some of your tears out, or music that makes you happier and can make you resonate at a higher level and just dance, dance, dance and get your energy up and make yourself feel better. Eat. Don't not eat because you're feeling down. Exercise, whether it's taking a walk, swimming, dancing in your bedroom, because it boosts your endorphins and it helps to make you feel better. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. Again, talk to your friends, somebody you trust, somebody that is going to give you space and that says, I got you. And it doesn't matter to them if you have to repeat the same story 10 or a dozen times so you can get it out of your system. But above all, don't beat yourself up. Do some self-reflection and don't go back to that situation. If you're broken up, let it be that you're broken up. And now I'm going to drop the link. And I hope you don't mind that I decided I need to talk to you all about this, but I just felt it was necessary. There it goes. Here we go. What do you have to say about the person that has a breakup and about self-care? Is the link not dropping? There it goes. Anybody want to come up? Black Lavender, hello! Nice to see you here. And then we have Vintage and Jenny and Paranormal Witch Pixie. Who else is in the room? Kim. Hey, Kim. Kim Taylor of Southern Fried and Gluten Free. And Jenny has a blog, Girl Meets 40. And Black Lavender has the funniest thing on Instagram. Please tell them what your Instagram channel is. Black Lavender says, after a breakup, you definitely learn to protect your heart a lot more. That is true. You get a lot more protective. But I wonder, a lot of people tend to find themselves going after the same type of person. Oh, thank you, Vintage. Jesse Bear says, come on, let's hear some of y'all. Black Lavender, you want to come up and let us hear your voice? Let some of the people hear your voice that have never heard it. I love your voice. Some people say they like my southern voice. Another question is, How do you deal with grief without drowning in it? How do you process it? Grief is a hard one. Grief comes in waves. I know at first you're in shock. I was in shock probably for a couple of months. I was a robot when I lost my son. But I had to go inside and realize I still had a young daughter here. And I did not want to be a checked out mom because I love and adore my daughter too. And I did not want her to grow up and say, yeah, after we lost my brother, my mom just wasn't present anymore for me. I did not want my daughter to feel unimportant because I adore her with every breath I have as well. So even though I hurt deeply on one level, I also love deeply, and they can both coexist at the same time. At some point, you can connect with grief groups online or in person and connect with people that have gone through the same thing. I did find that losing my dad, which I lost him, and I'm very close with my dad, and losing my child, vastly different. Vastly different. I thought I was destroyed when I lost my dad, but losing my child was deeply gutting. Gutting in a way I can't even purely describe. I literally had to remind myself to breathe for days. I would be like I would forget to breathe. And I went into automatic mode when I had to do his celebration of life because it was so important to me that it be a celebration. And we did it at the lake and we had like a literal concert. It was beautiful. And then I learned that I could, we started literally getting signs from him. I know that's a whole nother topic. But love doesn't end. Let me just put it that way. When you lose someone, love doesn't end. It doesn't. And the grief will come in waves. Support is key. Not pushing people away is key. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to do things because they would want you to do things. It's not okay to roll over and just stop living. People need you and they love you. And if you ever need to reach out to somebody, I'm here. I got you. But unfortunately or fortunately, grief is pain and pain is gross. And it's a natural thing to happen. It doesn't make it easier. But let yourself feel what you have to feel. Write about it, honor them. I light a candle every single night. Literally, I have a picture of my son. I light a candle every single night at dinner time. Every single night. I still talk to my son and I blow the candle out when I go to bed. And I say, I love you, Noe. Maybe it's crazy. But things like that help you heal. Help you stay connected. Because as far as we're concerned, we are always a family of four. People don't cease to be your family or people you love because something happened. They just don't. You have to feel your pain. It sucks. But it's also a gift. I hate to say it. A clean gift, a dirty gift. Don't let it be a dirty gift. Don't give yourself pain. Don't beat yourself up and call yourself names and, do all that crazy thing like, I'm not good enough. I'm ugly. I didn't do this right. If I had only this. That's dirty pain. You make the dirty pain, that makes you sick. That's how a lot of people end up with disease. It's self-inflicted. Not all disease, but a lot of disease is actually self-inflicted. And the more I can get that message out to people, maybe the less people will be sick. Let me make this clear. I am not saying that every person in the United States is sick because of dirty pain. I am saying there is a significant amount of people in the world that are sick because they stuff emotion, they don't process it, they try to be stoic, they try to be a martyr, they don't cope with the pain, they don't heal with the pain, they don't go within, and they give themselves a lot of dirty pain. And they make themselves sick. If you do a lot of studies, and if you even look around at people you know, and look how they live, and maybe look at their personalities over time, and especially those that have passed away, it might make sense to you. Hey, Cat B! Thank you for being here. Let me see what she says. The writing's too little for me to see. Only just woke up. Have to grab coffee. Taste night. I really miss my mom. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cat. I know that you miss your mom. But that being said, I hope that you talk to your mom. When people are missing people that have left them physically, I ask that you humor me and get quiet. Get in a quiet space. Whether you pray or meditate, just get in a quiet space with yourself. And think of the person that you've lost. And think of yourself in maybe your favorite place with them. Meditate is the best thing to do. And just imagine yourself having a conversation with them. And quiet your mind. And just in your spirit, spend some time with them. Talk to them. Again, just because they are physically not here, do not stop connecting in your heart or stop talking to them. Love does not end. It's one of the greatest gifts we were ever given. And it's such a funny thing. You think about it. We can't really touch love. We can't see love. We can't reproduce love. People say, I don't believe in something I can't see. But the funny thing is, we can act out love or show love in different ways. But we can't create it in a lab. Right? But out of pain and love come genius things. Wonderful buildings. Out of the pain and fear and unfortunately, God help our souls. And I pray for so many families out there that have lost people because of this pandemic. But out of all of the fear and all of the loss, we're getting these injections. Right? Out of need comes creation, technology, new ideas. Out of pain come new laws to help other people. we process and we heal sometimes through making change, right? Like, as this channel grows, and I'm just going to put it out there in the universe, I'm just going to do it. And while I'm saying it, please like and subscribe. It helps me so much. As this channel grows, one of my big intentions, and I'm putting it out there, is I want to create a foundation called Noah's Ark, Special Things for Special Needs. And that foundation will have, as special needs families outgrow or don't need their equipment anymore, they will donate it to Noah's Ark, my foundation. And those families that need the equipment, the medical help, that can't afford it, or the insurance won't pay for it, can come to Noah's Ark, sign their name, and take the equipment and use it as long as they need it. Noah's Ark will also provide support for the families, therapy, and other such needs that the gaps aren't filled. The families will be able to donate their time as they can, and that will be their payment for anything they need there, just donating their time. This will be to honor my child. That is one of my big intentions as the channel grows. That is my hope that I will be able to do. So I'm putting it out there in the universe. So as you like and subscribe this channel, and as it grows, that is part of what I want to do. So I also want to put out the message that if you have problems that you need help or advice for, if you don't want me to use your name, I will change it to protect the innocent. You can DM me at Dear Dana. I think is it 3? Let me make sure. I have to make sure. I can't always remember. Yes, at Dear Dana 3 on Instagram. You can DM me your question, and I will protect your name, and I will put the answer to your question on the channel. That was one of the purposes of this channel, but I will protect your identity, and we will put it on here. I am an educated psychotherapist. I don't presently do private practice because I'm teaching, but I'm using my education to help others on this platform. And I want this to be a community that actually can have conversations. So anyway, as I'm spilling my guts, again, while we are in the baby mode, because I've just started the channel, I'm trying to let people know what the intentions are. So, again, I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to help about or ask any questions about healing. But yes, insofar as grief, just make sure you have a great support system. There are going to be moments over your lifetime that the grief is going to hit again, but you'll find that the waves are going to be further and further apart, and you'll be able to do things more to honor them, and you'll still have little moments of pain, but they won't cripple you as much as they do in the early stages. Okay, who is saying? Let's see what the chat's saying. Kat says, I cared for her the last 10 years of her life. She was 93. After she passed 2 years ago, at least I had that time with her. Yes, absolutely. I'm so sorry that she passed. It's so hard. Eden says, there's a quote from one of my favorite shows that helped me a lot. What is grief if not love persevering? That is true. And I have heard that, that's my daughter, by the way. sometimes the deeper the grief feels and the pain, and especially when you have pain about relationships too, that is just an indicator to you. That's the depth of the ability for you to love. So that's an indicator to you. That's how much of a loving person you are, which is a great thing. I mean, what a gift you are to others if you are able to love that deeply. But I'm telling you, if you're able to face your pain full on and make adjustments in your life and see areas where you can grow from broken relationships, your life is going to get so much better. And in romantic relationships, you're only going to attract a more significantly matched partner to yourself. If you take that pain and use it as an opportunity for personal growth and don't like suffocate in it, dwell in it, or say, I'm never going to be with anyone again. You see how far it got me? That's what I was saying. After my divorce, I was like, no, I don't need anybody. I'm never getting married again. You know, maybe I'm not going to say that. I'll just handle things myself in my own world. I don't need the stress or the pressure. I felt free. Now, it was nice to flirt, don't get me wrong, and maybe get a little bit of attention here and there, but I just did not have to deal with all of that chaos. I mean, my first husband, he was like, he wanted the carpet vacuumed to where there were perfect lines in it, and it never looked like anyone walked on it. I mean, give me a break. What am I supposed to do, fly all the time? Now, he would clean some too, but that's just cray-cray. So, by the time I got married this time, girl, I loosened up. I was like, I am not going to be your handy maid. I will do things here and there, but I'm not going to be the handy maid. People live here. You're grown. Do something. You do it too, bruh. And now that my daughter's older, I'm like, you wash the dishes. Our dishwasher's broken. Have you ever had a time where every time you turn around, something was breaking? That's my house right now. Every time you turn around, I just roll with it. Sometimes that's another gift of pain. Sometimes you can deal with so much pain emotionally that you begin to learn that things happening in your world that are minute, it's small stuff. It's all just small stuff. And it doesn't get to you so much anymore. It doesn't rock you. It doesn't stress you out. So I just roll with the small stuff. I'm not as anal about things. Nothing has to be perfect. My daughter had a breakup at one time. She was trying to suck it up, stuff it in. Didn't want to let me know. She finally started cracking at the seams. Wanted to know how to handle it. And I said, you just have to feel it. Let it go. Cry it out till you can't cry anymore. Just let it out. Because eventually you'll be done. It's not going to hurt forever. And then somebody else is going to grab your attention. That's how life goes. And that person might still hold a piece of your heart. But it's not forever. Know the essence of who you are. Learn to not look at pain as the devil, but know that it is a tool. It's like a measuring tool. In some ways, start calling it beautiful pain. Now, I'm not saying go knock your head against the wall. That's stupid. That's not going to benefit you. Don't intentionally cause yourself pain. Because it's stupid, gets you nowhere, and that's not growth. That, the dirty pain I was talking to you about, that is not growth. That stunts your growth. When you call yourself names, beat yourself down, compare yourself to others, that is dirty pain. And remember, the dirty pain is what makes you physically ill. Right? Remind yourself of that. Maybe that will stop you from harming yourself with the words, with the stinking thinking, with the terrible thoughts, or with only blaming the other person and not doing self-reflection. I want you to begin taking the invisible toolbox that I'm trying to set you up with and begin loading it with the knowledge that I'm trying to give you, so you can be more astute in healing in ways you never thought you could, and growing in ways you never thought you could, and in essence, starting to open up the world and energy coming towards you, doors opening up, and maybe dreams happening in ways you never thought they could. Pain and loss, again, I'll say it sucks, right? Not the best word to use. It sucks. Grief falls into the category of clean pain. It's out of our control. And we get angry, we become resistant, we don't believe it, we go through all the stages. But we have to find a way to give ourselves some grace and go on to believe in something greater than ourselves, to survive it, to know that we'll be with those we love again. I don't know what your belief system is. I happen to know that I know, because I had a near-death experience when I was a kid, that I know that there is something greater. I don't do religion and politics in this room, but I can say I know there's something greater. With that being said, the other pain, I want you to ponder it. Do me that favor, okay? And come back to me. And here comes John.
Hello, everybody. Next time my nudges are going to work, I'm going to get more of yous up here. But what I wanted to ask you, from your professional experience,
Yeah.
when it comes to the relationship breakup between two people.
Right.
Is that emotional pain and healing different stages for men and women? Like men, like from your research and so forth, do men go through a different type of stage of emotional healing from a breakup than what women do?
Women are more emotional anyway, generally speaking. Men have a tendency to compartmentalize.
Yeah, guilty. Okay, yeah.
And so they tend to get affected physically more by it. They tend to drink more, act out more, um, be more stoic. I mean, they don't do all these are just different things that men do. Not all men do these three things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I
They'll,
know some men that are very stoic that never in public will you ever see them cry.
mm-hmm,
That stuff, and that's kind of like I'm on that in between those generations where it's okay to express it or where it's okay as long as it's done privately.
yeah.
So
But
it's in between that part.
they may get depressed or get upset at home, but more often than not, they tend to act out in some way.
Now, for women, do they do more? Like, I mean, okay, it's a cliche, but I got to ask it.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you see it, it's the, you know, 3 pints of ice cream, and with the girlfriend, or can something, is there something more like the movies make it seem so easy, it's like a week, you eat, and then boom, it's done.
No. I mean, like men, sometimes men will sleep around to try to get over it. But some women might go sleep with another man to disconnect emotionally. But they'll sleep with a man to disconnect emotionally. Not many men. It's sort of
Okay.
like by the time, they won't do it immediately, but by the time a woman typically decides to sleep with a man, and it doesn't have to be a relationship, but by the time a woman decides to sleep with another man after a breakup, that is her way of saying, okay, I'm done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She is disconnected emotionally from that other person.
So it's kind of like nearing the end of that grieving
Right,
cycle for
right.
that relationship.
But they will shop, they will eat, they will jaw it out with their good friend, they will cry, they will get depressed, or they'll take up a new hobby. It's variant, or they'll just isolate, just different things, or they'll get a revenge body.
Okay, got it. The kind of reasoning I was asking is that I've noticed in my travels on the web, and I've noticed over the last about 20 years, there is there seems to be, and this is just my perception. I don't know if you've come across any research or so forth in your professional area.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a group of young men that are kind of emotionally stunted because of rejection or because of a breakup.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to get through to them, like to get down to the core of why they can't move on to that. And I don't know if I come across some of them, is there anything that I can kind of help them with?
They have to want to have help. You know what I mean? If they say something that seems like they're sort of reaching out or they're flustered, you can help that person. But if they're like sort of prideful or egotistical or arrogant in what they're doing, don't bother.
Well, sometimes they're kind of hateful.
Then don't bother.
Okay.
It's a waste. At this point of their life, it's a waste.
Yeah, but I'm talking about some of the people I've come across. Like they're just in like their mid-20s and they're already very, very. It's like I just it just surprised me when I came across a few that are like this. So
They're just not ready.
okay,
They're just, people have to kind of grow with their own pace. They're just not ready.
okay,
You might have one, and it's a peer thing too. If you got one out of the group, away from the group, they might
hmm
be more apt to listen, but not when they're in that same.
type of mindset, herd
Right.
type mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, it's just that I've noticed in the last 20 years it's become very much more apparent that certain like being able to get past and go through that type grieving thing for a relationship. There's a lot of people that really don't want to go through it
Yeah.
and they're kind of stuck. And I'm just like, I can understand it. I guess because I am older, I always thought it was more older people that go through that. But I'm just finding that it seems I'm coming across a lot more people in the younger age ranges in their mid 20s and above that just can't seem to move on. And it's just sometimes you can get, when you're chatting, but then it's like, okay, what do you do? Or how do you get them to try and jettison all of that stuff?
Sometimes they get in the mindset too that they'd rather hurt somebody before they get hurt.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. That mindset is very, very, and very toxic.
I mean, they call it having the upper hand, so that the slightest essence of feeling like they might be rejected, they will have that behavior.
Yes, and that's what I'm finding. I'm coming across a little more of it through my travels along the internet, and I'm like, um, it's like I just shake my head, and I'm like, and I don't know if you've seen any research or any other stuff in your professional experience that you've seen this type of increase in type behavior.
It has a lot to do with technology too, I think. The swipe left, swipe right.
Mm.
It's a kill or be killed mentality, but it has more to do with hurt or be hurt rather than kill or be killed in the love field.
Oh, I never viewed it kind of like that.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it's just that I'm just surprised that some of the toxic stuff I've seen out. Like I have no problem, assigning whatever issues to whoever committed them or so forth. But I just find that sometimes there's been a lot more rise and more. Um, the only thing I can put it is like some very vile, toxic verbiage, and I'm like,
Ugh, can't take it.
yeah, and I'm like, whoa, where is all this coming from?
And you think about it too. Look, I'm no at my home. I'll slip a foul word here and there. Now it's not the
Oh,
worst. The worst,
I live alone, so I can slip all the foul words at home that I want.
but mine aren't the kind that just hit you in the ugh, that kind of bad word. But you think about it, some toxic bad words just make your energy reverberate.
Yes,
And I don't want that around me.
yes,
I mean,
I totally get that.
messages and words can carry energy just like the pain of relation. It's fascinating, and you can go down the rabbit hole real deep if you think about when we talked about energy and chemistry and all that stuff, and science and emotions.
Oh yeah,
It's super fascinating how all of that is connected.
true. I'm just wondering, have any of the uh, women in, or no, not women or men, but is anybody in the chat, have they ever been the recipient of it?
Of what?
Of having their other half go to that level of that type of toxic, like post breakup, being that toxic back to them?
Oh, I have, but I don't. I'm sure one of you have. Have you had somebody be very toxic to you prior to breakup with their words?
And then continue even after either a separation or the break or a break, like in their communication, no matter what, like texts or commenting on any of your posts if you have anything on social media.
My daughter says yes. She has. It was awful for her. It was a nightmare. And then Paranormal Witch Pixie says yes. And then Finny says that really helped me move past a lot of the toxicity within my family and moving past relationships that I kept finding myself in. Oh, she said, have you ever read the, I don't know how to say that, Bhagavad Gita? I haven't.
Well, Vintage, why don't you come up, give us a little blurb on what it is? Come on, Vintage. I know you want to.
Yeah,
You
because
can't resist the bear.
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
wrap
nudge
up
you.
soon. Because I have got to teach in the morning. 3 pints of booze for me, a heartache. My liver feels the pain more than the heart. I bet. Ooh, honey.
Yeah, that's a lot all in one night.
Now, I bet guys are guilty of drinking too much when they break
Oh,
up.
oh, yeah. Trust me, we've the old saying is that when the buds has a bad breakup, you take him out for a night of partying and so forth, and you make sure that somebody's the designated person to get him home.
And it solves nothing.
No, but at the time you think it is, but it's one of those false crutches, I guess.
Yeah. Or have you ever wanted to get in a fight because you saw your ex with someone, JC Bear?
Yes, but not overtly. It was kind of like, okay, how can I get him to hit me first so I'm not at fault? Like it's like, it's like, well, yeah. And I've seen other guys automatically try to do that, and two of us have had to hold them back. That's
Mm-mm-mm.
not fun either. Where you have because everybody wherever you're at is now focused on you, and he's saying this about him, and then blaming her. It's amazing. Those two are fighting over because of it, but somehow she will always get dragged into it.
Yeah.
I can't resist the bear.
That's right. That's right. And you came with your hat. You came with my favorite hat.
It's really cold down here, but yes.
I was about to ask.
Not
Like
here.
warm.
We're in springtime weather here. Like we're literally.
Yeah.
I had to wear a baseball cap and a light jacket to go out today, and
Where
it's
are
mid
you?
March.
Where are you, JC Bear? You're in Canada?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto, so we're north of Buffalo, and it's beautiful.
How far from Dundas are you?
Oh, Dundas, Ontario is about an hour and 15 minutes.
I know Toronto.
Oh, you know Dundas, don't you?
I do know Dundas. I thought it was so hilarious because when I first went there, I was like, okay, because Fifth Avenue Museum Mile, that's the mile that stretches through Manhattan. Okay, that makes sense. All right, Toronto, you come with Dundas, which sounds very reminiscent of something, you know.
Are you talking Dundas, Ontario, or Dundas the street?
Oh, Dundas the street, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the street Yeah.
In the center. Yeah. We'll catch up a little bit later on to the geography
Okay,
So,
guys.
on west or east. So, but continue.
JC Bear, I wanted to ask you, so when you have felt the pain and needed to heal, what did you do?
I did the initial combo of never cried in public. Always held it till I got home. If you want honesty, that's what I did. I did pick up like a couple of pints of ice cream, of my favorite ice cream, for whenever I wanted it. And yes, I did enjoy either a couple of bottles of wine or my favorite liquor to start with. And did a lot of cursing about the person, but in private.
Yeah.
Always made sure I took the high road when online, even though there's a lot of times I did not want to. Like I really wanted to lambaste, but then I stopped. So I basically would put it into an email and send it to myself.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's
But
smart.
but yeah, I did all those things of in public you'd never know. It'd be like, yeah, okay, if that's your decision, fine. Have a nice life. I don't want to see you. Da 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 da. In private, you had your good cry. Sometimes you combined it with a couple of shots and some crying. Sometimes you bitch. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes you chat to your friends about it, but you don't. I didn't want to elongate that same chat over and over and over and over and over again.
But sometimes you have to wear it out. You do.
So that's when I started rotating the friends I'd complain to. So that way it's like if you have 2 or 3 good friends, you can usually rotate the complaining sessions. So it's like they may only get it once every 3 or 4 days as opposed to once every day. Like they all said they'd be there, but
Yeah.
I knew to kind of spread it out because usually I'm the one that they're complaining to. It was
Right.
it was a very weird situation for them to hear me. So,
Oh, that
but
makes
then,
sense.
but yeah, I have to admit I did the stoic route, especially in public. If I was in the same social situation, like at a club or a bar where we were in the same restaurant, restaurants are easy. And so are bars if they're not so packed that you can kind of like physically move away.
Yeah.
So whenever that situation occurred, that's what I would try and do, or my friends would try and do. And same thing for them. We'd be like, okay, if they're over there, why don't we go over to the patio or go to the upstairs floor or something where there weren't no one was in direct line of sight.
Gotcha.
This didn't happen to me, but I've also happened with friends where, you go down to get the drinks and the ex would stop you to say, I just want to go up and have a word. I just want to chat with them. And I'm like, no, it's not the time. This is not good.
Not gonna happen.
I said, this is just going to cause more heartache and pain and probably an incident. We all have to get kicked out. I go contact them through a text or something and say, we got to talk, and then let them make the decision. But right now, in the middle of the place, in front of everybody, some people love the drama. Some people think that being in a crowd is going to protect them.
Yeah.
It feeds momentum.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily work that way to the injured party.
No, it does not.
Yeah. So, and because we were on the second floor, I'm like, that's all I need is for someone to get them up against one of the barriers and throw them over. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sometimes you can get that group hostility going too, and that's not good.
yeah, and you know what? Guilty. I've done that too. I've turned around and because my friend was really done dirty, and then some of the explanations and all that when they were doing it, and this was in a public thing, And of course, you get one side, then you get the other side, and it just starts like more people get in and get in and get in, and it just becomes quite the mess. And then you're the topic of conversation for a month. Like, did you see what happened at the bar? Da 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 da. Oh yeah, this group and that group. Vintage knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's
So
one of the reasons why sometimes I don't like to involve my friend group within my relationship if I'm gonna like talk crap about my partner. Sometimes even if I'm venting to a friend, like, oh my gosh, you won't believe my morning, that will sway my friend's opinion. And then if something drastic happens, like a breakup, it becomes almost like political because everyone's taking sides and people are talking about people. So,
And God forbid you end up getting back with them.
that's exactly my point. And then if you get back, then everyone thinks you're the idiot and everyone has a judgment about every little thing. Like, oh, they didn't show up for brunch today. I wonder why. Like,
yeah.
yeah, so it does have a trickle effect down. Well, and I can just imagine if, well, I've seen it in marriages, it can really split families too.
Yeah.
Like families get affected by it as well, especially if through the grieving process, a lot of other items are revealed that no one ever knew
Oh yeah.
was going on. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, why didn't you tell me? Or why didn't this happen? Why didn't you clue me in? And it's almost like, they're blaming you for not keeping them informed. And then they start to get angry. And even though they're angry at them, it sounds like they're angry at you, which makes it worse sometimes.
Yeah. Vintage, tell us about that book you were speaking about.
oh, I also don't know how to pronounce it, so don't worry.
I butchered it.
It's this bad boy. It's a really old book of it's pretty much a family at war, and it's how this one guy sort of deals with everything that's going on with his family through spirituality, and his journey. So it's very similar to like the Odyssey, where it's a poem, but it's about a voyage, and there's something deeper within it.
Gotcha. Because I mean, you can deal with a lot of pain in families too. So.
Oh yes, oh yes. For a long time, that was my big transgression because my family be crazy.
Got that book.
Well, we all got kind of little wing nuts in our family. No one.
Hiccups in our family.
No, mine are sometimes like I just look and go, they're just bat crazy. Okay, I mean, some of them are like on the edge. So.
What is it? Arsenic and Old Lace. Cary Grant says, "Oh, crazy doesn't just run in my family; it practically gallops."
Exactly.
What are you talking about here? You talking about crazy? I don't know what you're talking about. Teacher, what are you talking about? I didn't come at you crazy.
Not you. I'm talking about members of my own family.
Also, I love that voice.
Oh, I'm not crazy. I just like bananas.
Who is our fourth panelist?
Yeah, who is?
That's Coco.
Oh, Coco.
Yeah. I use them with my kids I teach. I have a bucket full of puppets. I ended up becoming a ventriloquist on accident.
Oh my god. Yeah, my sister teaches autistic kids. She actually every year will steal one of her favorite puppets from the schools. So she has them on a rack in her apartment. It's really cute.
Yeah, I didn't know I could do it without moving my mouth, but I teach Chinese kids English online, and then I teach internationally too. So I teach ASL, so I started using puppets, and then all of a sudden I realized I could do it without moving my mouth. So it's pretty cool because they think he's alive.
Oh my god, it's old school anime.
Yeah.
Which
I've
would,
got a
Old school anime.
yeah, with the puppets and all that coming through. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like that's like Mr. Rogers or even Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yes, even though poor Pee Wee went off the rails a little bit, but
A little bit, but poor
yeah.
Paul Rubin.
oh my
No,
God,
he is not a good man. No, I don't like him.
no, he did a bad thing.
Oh, yes, very
Wasn't that bad? He was just caught in a situation that he should not have been in.
Oh, that's an understatement.
That
Oh,
is a
yes,
huge
that is an
understatement.
understatement.
Yeah, it was. I was probably like 10 years old when that news article came out. Oh my gosh. Poor Paul Rubin.
He nasty.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, Vintage, really quick, how do you deal with pain when you have breakups?
Well, the last profound breakup that I had, I don't think I'm still really over because there's never been a resolution.
Right.
So without a resolution, I don't feel like you can really get over it. It's just more of a situation for my mental health, even though we're still communicating via text because
Right.
I refuse to hear her voice.
Yeah.
It's a point where I have to step back. So like today was one of the first days I didn't even really think about her. I rode my bike and I read Walt Whitman's Song of Myself under a tree.
Well, that's
So-
good. But
Oh, cool.
the resolution has to be a choice you make to either
But I feel like in a situation like that, it's already been a year, and to rehash what happened, that just doesn't make sense.
well, if staying connected brings you pain, that's the question.
Yes, it does. I
So
can't
you-
stand it. I can't stand anytime I get a message, it just makes me want to vomit.
So then you need to decide how you can disconnect.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing, I'm old school. I'm an 80s kid. I don't believe in blocking someone.
But you're causing your own pain out of your own self-beliefs.
Yeah, but if I just don't respond,
You're
then-
still seeing the messages.
Oh, you mean you're still leaving the door open?
Yeah, you still see the messages. They still emotionally affect you. You still don't complete the process of healing. You're still dealing with dirty pain.
Damn it, Dana! I read a poem today. I felt good. So you're saying I just put a Band-Aid on it?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
Because you just told me right before that you still are not healing. You're still processing it after a year because you're still in contact via text, because she's sending you messages, you're reading them, you're still having to take them in emotionally.
So what do I do?
You block her.
It's time to say,
But like
Okay.
that's a thing? That's a thing?
Yeah,
If this was 1983 or 1997, you can't block someone. You'd still have to like go to school and still
but
see
you
them.
didn't have a cell phone then.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah,
that's
but Vintage, you wouldn't be sitting at the same lunch table.
You're doing
Yeah,
this to yourself.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, you
I was
wouldn't be
worried
sit-
you would. I was worried you would demise that.
And in the 80s, because I am older than you, my dear, there was
know.
something called a blocker feature on your phone that that Bell or Mama Bell could put on to block a number. The party you are calling has blocked your number.
You mean call the operator? That's old school.
Yeah, but I mean, you could still do that. Or your sisters or brothers or mom or dad would just go, "May I ask who's calling?" Really? Click.
It's time to just do some self-reflection and process why you still need this connection
That's a good point.
and how
That's
the pain
very valid.
how is the pain serving you. Are you growing from the pain you're feeling now? And if you are not growing from it, and if it's dirty pain, you need to completely disconnect. I get the sense it's dirty pain because you're still stuck and you're not healing. It's been a year. That's too long.
That's true.
Well, the thing is that when you read those texts, does it take you right back there?
No, not anymore. Not right there. Now there's more of a disconnect. Like I recognize good memories, but I don't want to be back there.
But you just said you weren't over it. So,
Well, because it's just difficult because I don't know. Okay, like there's a difference because we've only been texting for a year, so it's very superficial.
right? So,
But
how's it serving you?
I don't feel it's serving me. I feel like it's serving her.
So, why are you still doing it?
Because I've never blocked anyone before. I've never done that before.
So,
I'm not someone who's like a technology and I'm not savvy in a technological way. I don't have Instagram or Twitter, so like blocking someone.
so you
But
start. This is what you do. You start off by saying, "Listen, I wish you only the best, but at this place in my life, I think it's better that we just don't text anymore."
yeah, I was thinking that would be the best thing, just to sort of so I could sort of speak my heart out and then be like, okay, bye, and move on.
Say, I just really need to move on and I need to just not text anymore.
Yeah.
And see
Man.
if she'll honor that. And if she doesn't honor that, then you Google how to block on your phone.
Okay. You mean don't just break my phone?
No. Yeah, that's an expensive replacement. But can I play devil's advocate here with? Can I play
Yeah.
devil's advocate here
Just
with
break
you?
my phone.
Of course.
No, I could send carrier pigeons everywhere. That's how I communicate.
You are queen of the carrier pigeons. No, but I mean, let me play devil's advocate.
What?
So you send me that text,
Uh-huh.
and then I respond with, "Why, have you met someone else?"
Ew.
It happens. What are you going to do? I'm going to play devil's advocate scenario. What are you going to do?
She'd never do that. She's not that well, okay, devil's advocate. Yeah, I would probably just be like, ew, and not respond.
Good.
That's gross. That's manipulation.
Good. What about you send me that text and I go, but I thought that we could remain friends afterwards.
Tugging at the heartstrings a little bit. No, just reinforce my statement that I need time, and we'll see how it goes a couple years down the line. But no.
Okay.
Or you say something to the effect of, look, I need time right now and space.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I just need to do self-reflection and need a period of growth.
Yeah.
Who's going to say, what are they going to say to that?
That's exactly it. You can't devil's advocate that, JC Bear.
Yes, I can.
Oh, gosh. You...
I love making you laugh. I love making you smile.
I'm going to hit you in my heart.
Oh, no. I'm going to go, but I thought maybe we could grow together.
Then why have you know where I live? Why haven't you made any effort to come see me?
I would say don't engage to it. Don't engage anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. I want you to be able to.
It's manipulation.
Yeah.
So all of those things, anything that I feel that tug at the love strings a little bit and make me feel icky at the same time, I already know that's manipulation. I was raised by a Catholic mother. I'm sorry. Like,
good. No.
I'm the queen of the backhanded compliment. I already know it.
I would be like, good. Take care, Dunzo.
Good. Yep. I just wanted you to, be prepared that you may get consistent texts after that. I wanted you to be prepared on how you would handle it. That's all.
No, that's when she Googles and she disconnects.
Or just break my phone and just get a whole bunch of pigeons.
No,
No,
that's too
no.
expensive. That's dumb.
Are
That's
you
just
an iPhone or Android?
Listen, I'm an artist. I have all expressions.
Oh, we're dealing with a creative. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm surrounded by them.
That's right. Oh my God. This is how
That's
I
why
needed
I'm
to interpret
bald.
myself. I needed to translate my pain into pigeons.
No, you need to translate your pain into your art.
Oh, I've been doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're good to go.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah. I learned how to play the accordion.
Oh wow,
Yeah. It's been a great year.
that's very cool.
what's that
Really?
one with the span?
So
It's a
you've got
Spain song.
the piano side, and then you can change the octaves, and it's kind of an organ that you can change certain octaves. But it's very popular in traditional Chilean music. So I've been learning like old school beats.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, I almost decided to pick up yodeling. I have too much time on my hands.
We're coming out of lockdown soon.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness.
But
Oh,
yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you were prepared so that if after that statement and your ex decides to start texting you even more or ardently, you're prepared to highlight that, swipe left, and there's a delete and block function where the message comes through. Press block.
um, I, I got that, but I
Okay.
know she wouldn't do that. She's very Aquarian. It's more like if I don't text her back in like 2 weeks or something like that, maybe she'll send me a message just to make sure I'm alive or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like she emotionally disconnects very easily, but yeah, sometimes for me, just because I'm a water sign, so sometimes having that open door and thinking of hope is a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But if you don't want her to walk through back through your door, you might as well just shut it.
So it's
Yeah,
a time to do some self introspection. You know
I
what I mean?
agree. No, I
And,
totally agree.
and go out and have fun.
Yeah. When we're able.
Again, lockdown. Dude,
Yeah.
Manhattan's gross. We already talked about this.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Anyway, I think I probably need to start wrapping up.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys.
I am so happy you guys were here again. I
So,
hope that I was able to dish out some knowledge and some information and some love and hope and all that
All
good
of
stuff.
those things.
oh yeah, you always do. It's always fun. But next time, beware, chat. I'm dragging you up here with me.
And Saturday will be a more fun topic.
Oh, what are we doing? I'm going to try and see if I can get some 80s tunes from my phone lined up for our intermittent dance time. Dance time.
Yeah, I want to have fun music on Saturday nights for intermittent things so the energy's more uplifted.
That's
I'm
true.
not quite sure. I'm brainstorming, but I'll let you know.
Oh, question. If we're playing music from our phone, you're not going to get any YouTube.
I don't know. That's why I have to look up music that is royalty free. And see, right now I'm not monetized, so I don't know what the rules are yet. I have to look
Okay.
it up.
I
Yeah.
am monetized. Like I just felt that word just go woo.
I mean, when you get to a certain level, you can make money on YouTube, and they throw advertisers in there somewhere. But see, I'm a baby, so I don't
So
make
you're
it.
a baby. You might be able to get away with certain things.
I
Like
don't know. I don't know.
I would.
Oh.
Yeah.
allegedly.
I
Yeah.
don't want to get knocked off before I start.
Yeah. So I think if it's something like less than 30 seconds, you're fine.
I don't know.
But
I
I
need to
would
look it
double
up.
check. But I'll
Yeah.
still line up some stuff, some of the old stuff, maybe the Depeche Mode, some Romantics.
Or if there are any
Uh,
DJs in the chat that want to contribute their original music.
Yeah, original music would be cool. But I usually
Yeah,
go.
so if there are any DJs that want to make up any special beats for Dear Dana.
I usually go to copyright or royalty free music to be safe
Uh,
to get beats.
okay, cool.
But anyway, I love you guys so much. I do hope that you were able to learn that even though pain's awful, it's a good thing too.
Thank
Yes,
you.
definitely.
All right. Bye, guys.
But
Okay, bear
everybody,
hugs.
have a good night, and I
You
shall see
too.
you Saturday night.
Sounds good.
Thank you for coming
Bye.
to Dear Dana. Please like and subscribe. It helps me greatly, and I shall see you later. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Bye bye. And we are out. Thank you again.